Tribreaker, A Sacred Symbols Odyssey, is the Brick Breaker sequel to 2020's Twin Breaker, A Sacred Symbols Adventure. The Steam page description states, if Twin Breaker was a brick breaker about space, Tribreaker is a brick breaker on steroids, and this go-around, it's all about time. Explore 40 brand new stages spread across 4 periods of galactic history, and obliterate the brick-breaking formula with new action-oriented gameplay quirks and formulas that you've never seen before in the genre. With boss fights, tons of story and dialogue, a retro-fueled soundtrack, and much more. Tribreaker, A Sacred Symbols Odyssey is inspired by one of the most popular video game podcasts on Earth, Sacred Symbols, and is written by longtime gaming personality Colin Moriarty and is the 6th title from Lillymo Games. As a fan of Sacred Symbols and the previous games Lillymo has made, I've come to really enjoy these weekend games, as Colin likes to call them. A weekend game is exactly how I went into this review. We received a code for the game on Thursday before release, and I played a couple of hours over the next few days, a lot of it sometimes after playing Indiana Jones, what a great game, and finished the game on normal after about 8 hours of gameplay, along with 32 out of 39 achievements unlocked. Here are the things that I liked. The Brick Breaker gameplay is satisfying and accessible to all. Showing this game to my 7-year-old son, the first thing he said was, "Oh, I've played something like this at school, I can play this." My wife, on the other hand, had other thoughts when she saw me playing it on my laptop during one of her Bravo TV shows. "Hasn't this game already been invented?" "Not like this," I told her. "This is from Lillymo Games and that gaming podcast I listen to." Let's just say she was not as impressed as I was and rolled her eyes. But anyway, I really appreciated how the game added more gameplay options compared to Twin Breaker. In Tribreaker, not only are you trying to destroy all the bricks deflecting the ball with your paddles, but a new mechanic adds the ability to control the ball direction in limited bursts. This ability adds to the simplistic gameplay in a mostly positive way. The other gameplay change that I really liked was the variety in levels this time around. In Twin Breaker, it was mostly just a brick breaker stage at all times with 2 paddles and eventually, these were my least favorite, 4 paddles in design. In Tribreaker, we see more levels like Snake or side-scrolling shooters or levels with no paddles, a music note stage, etc. And I never felt like I needed a break from the constant brick breaking like I did with Twin Breaker, and I really appreciate the change in pace with the levels. Another pro was the fun story that is presented in between the 40 stages. I can tell Colin, the primary writer of Lillymo's games, really listened to feedback on his writing and presentation from his previous stories. Tribreaker is the most comprehensible, engaging, funny, and well-delivered story compared to previous Lillymo games. The story mostly revolves around 3 best friends on a sci-fi space adventure, traveling through time with paradoxes, and there are also plenty of fun Easter egg references to fans of the podcast. Music and art style were also solid as always. Lillymo really does a great job keeping the feel, graphics, and sounds of an SNES 16-bit era game. I played this on my PC, which has an NVIDIA 4080 Super, but I also played it on my Asus G14 Zephyrus laptop with no issues. The only thing I couldn't quite figure out was ultra widescreen display options, but I'm not sure if the game natively supports it while in-game anyway. I wish I had a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally to play this on, and I think this would be the perfect handheld experience. Let's get on to some of the things that I did not like. I still feel like the RNG or random power-ups you need to get S ranks is still a problem. I know that getting an S rank on every level is not necessary to beat or enjoy the game, but for the other psychos out there who want to get the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation or all achievements unlocked on Steam or Xbox, the power-ups in RNG that I feel, they just still feel like you have to get certain things, and it can be frustrating. I know Colin said that the PS5 and Steam/Xbox achievement list was going to be hard this time, but I guess I wasn't ready for it. At the time of this review, I'd completed 7 levels on hard with S ranks, and I'm not sure if I want to rage anymore trying to go for completion, as I can see it's going to be difficult. If you can get S ranks on hard without certain RNG happening, please, Barry, let me know how it's done. Other than my own personal issues with the power-ups and RNG needed for S ranks on hard, I really don't have any more complaints with the game. Closing thoughts on Tribreaker, the Sacred Symbols Odyssey. Playing this game reminded me back to how Colin described games by Lillymo. The perfect weekend game. And that's exactly what Tribreaker is. It's a simple, fun, 8-hour SNES-style game that takes you back to the good old days and can be played in a weekend. Playing it really reminded me how much I love these smaller games. And you know what? If the brick-breaking style games aren't for you, please, please, please play the other games from Lillymo. Super Perils of Baking is an amazing platformer inspired by Super Mario World. Habroxia and Habroxia 2 are arcade-scrolling space shooters like Gradius on the SNES. Please, please play these games. The final point I would like to share is that after playing Tribreaker, I realized the other games from Lillymo are perfect games for my first grade son to jump into on the Switch. Super Perils of Baking would be a fun platformer for him. Habroxia can be his first space shooter, and these are great first games that can be played by basically anyone. Overall, the Nerd Chat recommends Tribreaker, a Sacred Symbols Odyssey. For only $9.99 on all platforms, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. This game is worth your time and money if you're interested in an old school 16-bit era brick breaker game. No, but seriously, go play Super Perils of Baking and Habroxia as well. Those games are amazing. Just some closing stats and information about me. I got S ranks on all 40 levels. 7 S ranks on hard, 32 out of 39 achievos in about 8 hours. I've played and gotten 1,000 out of 1,000 achievements and the platinum trophies for Super Perils of Baking, Twin Breaker, Habroxia 1 and 2 coming into this review, so I'm a fan of these games. Also, a special shout out to Lamb Smith PR for giving us early access to this game to review. As a personal fan, I was honored to have the first game we reviewed pre-release early access from Last Stand Media and the Lillymo family. Thank you guys. The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. Co-host and producer Jose Martinez III can be found at Chipotle_Bear. Former intern, now co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGamin. And former co-host, now returning intern, Chance Siegel can be found at BubbleBoyN7. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.